Hi guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead, and it's Thankful Thursday. I have some sausage I'm going to put over here. It's already pre-cooked, but I just want to warm it up so it looks prettier. That's all. Alright. I'm not sure again what I'm going to talk about, but there are a few things that I have in mind. And the first one is, we talk about healing and stuff, and it's not always just physical. Sometimes it's mental, sometimes it's emotional, sometimes it's spiritual, whatever it happens to be. So I was looking up some verses, and I found one that really, it just jumped out at me. And it's from Proverbs 17:22. And it says, "A cheerful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones." And, honestly, you couldn't get more factual than that right there. Because when you're happy and when you find things that make you smile or laugh, it makes you feel good inside. It doesn't matter if you're sick, dying, whatever. Laughter, happiness brings joy. And I do believe that sometimes it's mind over matter. And if you're joyful, sometimes things don't get to creep in as much as they'd like to. So, now, everybody's been liking the prayer beforehand. I am not a prayer person as far as, to pray for people. I pray for them. I'm not, I don't know all the proper words or whatever. But let's see how this goes. Dear Heavenly Father, my whole community is coming to you right now as friends. Maybe some are foes, I'm not sure. But we're going to love them regardless, no matter what. They're coming to you with an open heart. They know what the troubles are that they have in their lives, as well do you. You know even how many hairs on our head we have and how much sand is in the sea. So I would assume that you'd know everything that's going on with us. I ask that you wrap your arms around us and you hold us tightly. And the ones that really, really need you right now, as a good father, I know that you're pulling us in and you're holding us tighter and tighter to get us through. I know that sometimes bad things come to us. And I used to curse those things too. But honestly, sometimes those bad things bring good. We may not see it today. We may not see it tomorrow. But there's a reason for everything that happens. I ask that you continue to love us and hold us close. And make all those that don't feel well, no matter what it is, that you bring happiness to their heart and let them sing so that their bones don't dry up. I ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen. Alright, so like I said, I'm not a not a professional prayer by any means. I have one thing I'm so thankful for today. So I went on my computer last night and I'm answering, all this stuff, and all of a sudden my mouse quits working. And I'm like, okay. Then I changed the battery and the mouse is moving around, but it's not clicking on anything. Oh, I'm freaking out. So I get a hold of my son. And he goes, I'll come over as soon as I get the kids off the bus, or on the bus and to daycare and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I got to thinking, well, maybe it's just the mouse. So I ordered a mouse last night, and just as my son was almost here, I called him up and I'm like, Bobby, I fixed it. The mouse just went bad. It just went bad. And now my computer's running again. I'm like, because I'm like, I don't know how to do the internals on my phone on how to post things. I can post my video, but I can't put pictures in there, comments. I don't know how to drag and pull anything, because really, you guys, I am so illiterate when it comes to anything technology. I'm just not, and I don't know that it's because I can't learn it. A part of me doesn't want to learn it. Does that make sense? Okay, so anyways. Alright, so while that's cooking, I am going to make some bagel breakfast things for Tom. Let me tell you the story. This is a no-buy week, but I didn't buy anything for the meals. but I'd gotten Kroger ad, and I could get Arm & Hammer laundry detergent for $2.99. And I could get, which I don't like, but Hostess cupcakes and stuff like that for $1.99. And that's cheaper than even Little Debbie's. And then they had, do you remember when I was short a bagel? And everybody goes, make sure you call the company. Well, I did. They sent me $8 worth of coupons. Well, they happened to have where the coupons you could get the bagels for $1.99. So I got 3 packages of bagels and 1 package of bread, and those were all free. So, I mean, I got a long list of stuff yesterday, and it was $60. I was like, yeah, I love saving money. So I figured I'd got some plain bagels. Tom is almost out of those burritos, so why not make him some bagels up for breakfast? So that's what I'm going to do. All right, I'm going to bake mine. I've got the oven preheated. And then there's a couple things I do want to talk about. Everybody's wondering where Jack is. I can't say a whole lot because it's his story to tell, and I can't do it for him, and nor will I do that for him. Just say that he is physically fine, mentally fine, financially fine, all that. But there's some things going on, and if you guys could pray for him for that, I would truly, truly appreciate that. Yeah, he's going through a lot right now, and more than what he should have to be. So that's all I can say. I can't say more. It's very personal. If he chooses to tell you guys if and when he comes back, then he can. I am still making sure that they eat every day and instructing him on how to cook everything and whatever. So he's not going without there at all. So, and neither is Missy. So, but hopefully this is just a bump in the road, and everything will be fine. But if you could put him in your prayers, that would be amazing. Thank you. So now, based from Missy and Jack's situation, I want to say something. I want to say be thankful that you don't have, and if you do, get those people out of your life. The wolves in sheep's clothing. Sometimes that is a real thing. Sometimes that's a real thing. So be thankful and grateful if you don't have any of that in your life, because you don't want that in your life. So be grateful and thankful for that. Again, I'm thankful for my computer. I'm thankful for my Lord and Savior. I'm thankful for my family and my friends and you guys. And life sometimes can be so difficult. You know what I mean? Like, it can be really, really hard. And you know, we think about it like, I used to think to myself, well, and sometimes I still do. You know, you think, what in the world did I do to somebody to deserve all this heartache and pain? And we think about that because it's like, really, what did I do? And you know, I used to get angry at God when people would die, and I'd go, why, God, did you take them, and whatever. And I had to learn that a lot of things are not God's fault. I would put blame on him because he knows everything. So why would you do that? You know, and a lot of things that happen in our lifetimes, as much as we don't want to admit it, we do to ourselves. We put ourselves in those situations, and we're putting the blame where it doesn't belong. So, now do I believe God can fix everything and heal everything? Well, of course he can. Does that mean that he will? No. And sometimes that's a really, really hard, it's a really hard thing to go through. Said I wasn't going to do this stuff. I watched my father die of lung cancer that spread through the whole body. pain was just crazy. And my uncle and my mother-in-law. And I watched my mom die a very slow death from ALS. And I used to think to God, why do you do that? Like, what did they do to you that they deserved all that? But you know, it could be things that we've done, things that we've experienced, things that we shouldn't have done that might have brought those things on to us. And so can we blame God for all those things? Maybe we want to, and it might feel better to have someone to blame it on. But sometimes it's not all Him. We can pray prayers that, you know, that you become healed. And I believe 100% in the power of prayer. I believe that God can do anything. I mean, He parted the Red Sea, healed the sick, He rose the dead. He can do anything. But does that mean that He always is going to? No. And that thing, you know, you think about it and it's like, I'm getting way too deep today. Like, why wasn't my mom and dad worthy of saving? Why weren't they worthy of healing? But then I think about it, you know, maybe there's something that they did or didn't do. I don't know. That maybe that's their penance here on earth. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think any of us will know until we get there. And, you know, I think that, like with my mom dying, it taught me lessons. A, get life insurance. But B, that we get so busy in this world that we do literally stop. We forget to stop to smell the flowers. We literally do that. And I watch my kids be so busy with everything. And it's like, you know, I was talking to someone and I don't remember who it was. And we want so bad to tell them the mistakes that we've made. And we don't want them to make the same mistakes. But you know, it doesn't matter if they're 10 or if they're 30 or 35, whatever it is, they'll do themselves. And that's just how it is. I mean, we did the same exact things. You know, we do what we want to do. We want to take those bumps and bruises away from them, and we can't. You know, we can make suggestions. Oh, I know where it was. I wasn't talking to you. I was listening to a Christian channel, and it was saying, you know, about kids having to move back home because they can't make it out on their own because of the financial situation right now. But, you know, sometimes I wish that my mom could be here or my dad. Just so that, you know, when you're having issues and you just don't know how to deal with it, you know, like you'd call your mom or dad, you know, and they'd get you through it. Even if you really was like, you know. But their heart was in the right place, and they meant to do good. This is getting too deep. It makes it not fun when it's too deep. And I'm sorry for that. But anyways. So, let's get these started. They'll never get done. So my balls did come. Holy gosh, I don't know if you guys have ever held a racquetball, but boy, they're hard. Ooh. I was like, yeah, I'll work on it a little bit there, but whew, to even squeeze them was like, oh my gosh. So I'm going to use pepper jack. That is Tom's favorite cheese. And since I'm making them for Tom, they should be what's his favorite. And you probably don't need the bread on here, or the paper. I think sometimes you guys just catch me at an emotional time, and I do apologize for that. I try to be a tough girl, and then, you know, the world happens. And that's okay. The world's been happening for thousands of years, and we've all bumped into things that were painful or hurtful or whatever, and you know what? We just have to deal with it. You know, as God gives us the right to be happy, He also holds our hand, I think, when we're sad and when we're hurting and when we're in pain and, you know, whatever it might be. We have to believe if he's got us in the good times, he's got us in the bad too. Because what do they say? In good times and bad, you know? So I only had 4 pieces of sausage left. So I actually asked him, would you rather have salami or would you rather have bacon? And he said bacon. He doesn't normally say bacon to anything because he's not a bacon fan. It really does tear his guts up. I have to get a more expensive bacon, and it doesn't seem to be as bad on him. But we both had our gallbladder out, and sometimes fatty things are just, you know, it's hard on the stomach. So I'm thankful that it has been so nice here. Like, it actually got to 48 degrees yesterday. Oh, how beautiful is that? But, you know, as a Michigander, I know we'll get hit again. That's the thing. We'll get hit again. It's not going to go away that easily. Believe me. It likes to hold on and hold on and hold on. All right. 1 second. All right. So you've seen me crack eggs a million times. So I wanted to get the eggs cracked and, and beaten up where you guys didn't have to watch it all. I watched a video on how to do these eggs, and you do one at a time, and then you fold them over, and then you can put them on there, and they're perfect shape and everything. And I thought, geez, that would be really cool, but I didn't do that today. But anyway, on a more upbeat things, let's think of things that are upbeat, right? So, if you woke up this morning, good morning, world. Good morning, friends. So I guess that's a great thing to wake up and you're breathing, and that's a good start to your day. You went to bed last night and you slept. Whether it was good or bad, you had a bed to sleep in. You know, you turned up or turned down the furnace. Hey, that means you have some place that you're living that you can actually adjust the heat. There's a bonus. I think sometimes we forget that little stuff that really adds up to a lot. If you had to go out this morning and scrape off the windows of your car, you have a car. If your kids called up and complained, or your kids didn't want to get out of bed this morning, you have a family. You know, there's so many things that we think about that's so bad, and everything that's like, ugh, so frustrating. But really, when we think about the little things too, we have a lot. I told my daughter-in-law last night, you know those people that feel like they need the big houses and fancy cars and all those things, you know? And, oh, don't get me wrong, I would like to have that stuff too. But that's not my focus. And I told her, you know, her and my son are not believers, so, but they let me talk about God, just not to the kids. Anyway, I told her, you know, in this lifetime, if I have God, my family, and friends, I have the world, you know. It may not be a world that's not bumpy, but I have the world. And then I was going to the bathroom last night, and I came back into the living room with Tom, and I said to him, I said, you know, my sons both have girls something like me. Now, my son's first wife, he's not remarried, so his first wife, she became more down to earth, but she was very, and I love her. I do. I still do. High maintenance. Like, she had to have the $30 bottle of shampoo and whatever, and he got her out of that very quickly. But his girlfriend and him stopped by yesterday for a couple minutes last night, and you know, she is very, very, very down to earth. Very down to earth. And she doesn't require all the fancy stuff either. And, you know, neither does Courtney. And I'll be honest with you, she's my only daughter-in-law right now. So if you're watching, Courtney, I love you with all my heart, like you're my own. She and I had a couple bumps and bruises in the beginning, but I'm going to tell you, she loves my son. She loves my son like crazy, and she is a good mother, and she will bust her butt. I don't care if that girl had to work 24 hours a day to take care of that family, she would do it. And she doesn't care if she's got a hole in her shirt. As long as that baby's got Pampers on its butt and the kid's got clothes on their back, she doesn't care. You know, and I'm really, really proud of my sons for finding women that are like that. That, you know, if you get all those fancy things, that's great. That's wonderful. But all those fancy things does not make your family. And so, for that, I'm very, very thankful and grateful. There's nothing wrong with being high maintenance, you know. I mean, you do you. I think that we should all have, you know, things that we look for in a person, you know what I mean? Like, I told my mom when I became single, I said, I will never again be with a man that can't carry his own. Now, I didn't say support me. I said carry his own. Because unless there's something wrong with them, you shouldn't have to carry all that by yourself. It's hard. Especially when you get kids and everything else, it's hard. So I told her, I said, never would I wasn't looking for a rich man. It wasn't like that. Don't think I was being a gold digger. But I at least wanted a man that could carry his own. And a man that could actually run a vacuum would be nice. Then would I marry one that's a non-cooker? Go figure. You got to give in somewhere. You know, why not there? So I'm thankful for those. I know that sounds weird. I don't know where I rant off to. I really don't. And I really am like this in real life. You know what I mean? Like, if you came over here, you wouldn't see anything different. I really do sometimes just rant. I guess it's just me, you know. And you got to take me with the good and the bad. Well, you don't have to take me at all, but you know what I'm saying. We all have our flaws, and some of us more than others, you know. So I put the eggs on top of it. These are going to be delicious. Delicious. I know he brought me a bagel this morning and with cream cheese on it because I got some cinnamon swirl ones. And I was like, well, did you eat one too? And he's like, no, I ate my burritos. Like he's something special. All right, so what I did is I melted some butter too. We should just make these fancy. Hello, we can do that. Sometimes fancy is a good thing. Yeah, you should see. I mean, I don't have any of the fancy stuff in life. I have a nice car, don't get me wrong. But, you know, the thing is, I have lottery dreams. If I ever won the lottery. What kind of house I would have. And actually, you know what? It's not a mansion. It's not a mansion. But it does have a canning kitchen and an upstairs pantry. And no stairs to get into the house. I would love if I won the lottery. I would want to put my whole family on a, like 100 acres and build a house for my sons. And I would have to build one for my daughter-in-law's mom because I know she couldn't handle being that far away from the kids. That would just kill her. And I wouldn't want that. So I'd build her one too. Now I'm putting that everything bagel seasoning on there. My son's kind of got me into really liking this, to be honest. And I'm going to have to make more soon. This stuff is really good. I was quite surprised. He goes, Mom, once you try it, you'll really like it. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. But honestly, it is really, really good. I seen Kendra full of joy. She did a Trader Joe haul today. We have a Trader Joe that's been in the works for like 2 years, and they're finally starting to build on it. I cannot wait. I hear it's a great store. My son tells me, it's not all that, Mom. Okay. But I'd like to go there at least once. So now I'm going to put them in the oven and let the top just get a little bit brown and let the cheese get melted. And then what I do is I put them in sandwich baggies and I put them in the freezer so he can grab them out as he needs them. So let me think about what else I'm going to say to you and then I'll come back. Hopefully I don't make it an hour video like last week. You guys are so patient with me. Thank you for that. I'll be right back. Well, everything is cooled down. I had to take care of some customer service stuff. Sorry. So, these are what they turned out like. Aren't they pretty? Maybe sometimes I can do stuff right. And then I'm going to take my sandwich bags. And I'm going to put those big, beautiful bagel breakfast sandwiches right in the bag. Try to get out as much air as you can. And look at that. Look how nice and thick that is. So, those are his breakfast sandwiches. I just made more room in the freezer to put them in there. He's going to be loving those. I'll leave one out for tomorrow and for Saturday so that he has those. I do want to say, you know, I truly am thankful for each and every one of you. And that you actually take time in your day to watch me. And, you know, even when I'm a blubbering idiot, you know, I mean, that's just how life is, I guess. I know the beginning was kind of a downer. But you know, I've been thinking about that when I was taking care of the customer service stuff. Sometimes life is a downer. Sometimes life is like the most amazing thing. And sometimes not so much. Sometimes you're like, ugh. You ever have those moments where you want it to be bedtime just because you want to go to bed and hopefully it starts over you? Yeah, we all have that, I think. So my challenge to you today is one thing that you're very thankful and grateful for. And one thing that you would love if people were reading in the comments that they would pray for you about. And it can be something simple. It can be something really difficult. Because even through the darkness, you know, I looked at this one thing and I heard it on several different religious channels, and I'm not sure that I'm going to get it right. But you know, when it's dark out and you're driving your car and there's only so far out that your lights can project. There's only so far that even the daylight you can see to drive forward. So I don't think we're meant to handle it all at one time. You know, and if you look at the rear view mirror, it's pretty small. So, you know, I think that we need to learn that we go down that dark road or that daylight road, and sometimes it's dark, and sometimes it's like, but then, you know, sometimes over that hill, there's a pretty mountain, or there's a pretty ocean, or lake, or whatever happens to be that you really love to see. So, you know, I think we need to go through life as in what's there on the other side. And I don't mean if you die, but I mean, what's over side of that mountain? What's over side of that hill? What's past that 100 feet that I can see ahead? And know that sometimes it's not all bad. Sometimes that bad brings good. You know, I seen on Facebook today, and this guy says, I have a question for you. Would you, if given the opportunity, would you go back to an ex and try to make it work? And I put a big fat no on there. You ever heard that song, God Bless the Broken Roads? I thought it was for one guy, but it wasn't. But anyway, you know, we go down an awful lot of roads and we go down an awful lot of bumps. And sometimes the good comes out on the other end. Like, I'm glad that it didn't work out. I'm happy that it didn't work out. It gave me steps to take to get to Tom. Because you know what? He wasn't ready yet. He was married, you know, not when we were together. He was married, and, you know, so all those years that I was single, he wasn't ready for me. And then his wife passed away, and God put him there. And it's so funny because, you know, just a couple days before I met him, I was headed up north and I was driving, and my dad was right. I never wanted to get married again. Never. I did it once. That was enough. No, no, no. And the guy before Tom, actually, he was the first person that I'd ever thought about being that serious with since my divorce. And I had thought about marriage. And going up north, I'm praying to God, and then I'm talking to my dad. My dad in the past tense, you know, just like talking in air because my dad's dead. Has been since 2009. And I said, Dad, if you can have a talk with God, I think I'm ready. I really think I'm ready. And I want to be a wife. And I'm ready to do that. And it was so funny because Tom had gotten a hold of me, believe it or not, on Craigslist dating. And on our first date, you know, I says, well, what's the M stand for in your middle name? And he goes, well, guess it. And I'm like, Michael, Matthew, Mark, blah, blah, blah. You know, he goes, no. And I go, well, what is it? And he said, Marvin. And I said, oh, God. And he's like, what? And I go, that's my dad's first name. And actually, the first serious guy I was ever with, his birthday was the same as Tom's, January 21st. And his middle name was the same middle name as my dad. And then January 24th is our son Nate's birthday, which happened to be his dad's birthday. So I was like, oh, this is joking right now. But he was everything that I think my dad would have wanted for me. You know, he wanted a stable man. He was older. I never much dated older men. I didn't like it really well. But, yeah. I think that I went down those bumpy roads so that when the good came along, I was like, snatch that up. Even though I was man, I was having panic attack after panic attack after he proposed to me, like for 3 months straight. Because we had to plan it pretty quick because my mom was, she was dying. And I wanted to make sure that, you know, she could be at my wedding and whatever. And we got married in April. She died in January. So she got to know Tom pretty well. And before she got sick, they'd have fun together. My mom was a card at sometimes. But I think about that now. So even if life is handing us a bunch of bumpy roads, and if you live in Michigan, we have potholes you could drown in. But even though sometimes the world hands us curveballs, whether it's financial, emotional, mental, you know, cancer, strokes, whatever it happens to be, sometimes that leads us to some really good stuff. And we just need to be appreciative, even in the bad, and realize that, you know what, I'm going to come out the other end. And, well, I hate death. I've told you guys that. I hate death. Hate it. Don't ever want to do it. But, you know, if you go down those roads, and at the end comes death, and if you're a believer, you believe you go somewhere place better, right? But if you make it past all that, you're going to head into something good. So, either way, wow, I wish I would have thought that more during the 57 years of my life. Sometimes you guys make me think. And I need to learn to be more appreciative too. And more thankful and more grateful. Because those bumps in the road made me who I am. And each bump in the road made me a better person. And I know, like, with my channel, it hasn't gotten, like, to 7 and 10,000 and whatever some of these people have. But you know what? That's okay, too. Because, you know, I have time that I can sit here and talk with you guys, and I can build my channel and build my community with love and respect and friendship and family. And that's something that if I was to grow 10,000 overnight, I might miss a lot of that. So I guess we have to take it, you know. You take it as it is. It's life. That's how it is. I'm bummed though. They had this sale. It's about 25 minutes. It's on the other side of Portland into Ionia. And they had chicken breast, 10 pounds for $10. Today and yesterday only. So I thought, well, before I drive up there, because they had some mushrooms on sale and lettuce for 99 cents a head, celery for 99 cents. They had, I was going to get some green beans. They had for $1.49 a pound. I thought that'd go great with the dinner I want to make Tom. And they sold out yesterday. He goes, well, the regular sale goes back on tomorrow when we get more in. It's 10 pounds for $15, which is still a good deal, but not worth me driving, you know, an hour round trip. So good thing. See, somebody was saying, make sure you call first. So anyways, I know it's a bunch of blubbering today again, and I want to say I'm sorry for that, but at the same time, when I do that, you get me. You get 100% me. I do that all the time, even when talking to Tom, I'll be like, oh, wait a minute, stop. Because my brain goes all the time, and I'll go, I need to tell you this before I forget. Because I forget so easily. They say that happens during menopause, but... and he just laughs at me. My kids do too. Because I'll think about it, and if I don't tell you right then I forget. So sometimes it's blubbering, whatever, but you really do get me. And I'm not saying I'm all that in a bag of chips, because, man, I'm a few chips short. But I like me. I couldn't have always said that. A lot of years I couldn't say that. But I like me. So I hope that you guys see, and I feel like you do, that you see the real me. I can be tough as nails. I can be mean too. Don't think I can't. I got temper. I don't hurt people or anything like that, but I have a softness inside me that a lot of people don't bring out. You guys do. Because you get me. And I want you to know that I appreciate and I truly do love each and every one of you. I love you like guys like crazy. And I do appreciate you, and I'm very, very thankful for you. And if this touched anybody today, I'm happy about that too. So thanks for spending quite a few minutes with me. And Tom will have some great breakfast. I do try to keep him happy because, you know, he is 66 years old. He's a hardworking man. He works his butt off. And he would do anything for our family. And so once in a while, it's nice to recognize him and to show him how much he's appreciated. I know some of these younger girls are like, I wouldn't do that for my man. Well, you know what? That's how you get good men, and that's how you get bad men. Good men will always appreciate you. They may not say it all the time, but a good man will always appreciate you. And he loves what you do for him. He doesn't need you to be all made up and and fancy clothes and all that good stuff. He just needs you to be you and know that you put him not necessarily on a pedestal, but you know what I mean, that he's important and what he does is important. Sometimes I'll snuggle up next to him at night, because I go to bed a little bit later than him, and I'll say to him, I said, thank you for everything you do. He'll say, you're welcome. But I think they like to hear that. I do. And I think that, like I told him, I said, women like to hear that stuff too. Like, great dinner, honey, or you look pretty. We don't need diamonds and pearls, we just need to be appreciated and know that we're appreciated and that we're loved. And Carmen brought up something, so I thought I'd cover it. I have a cheap little band on. It costs $4 at Amazon. I have a beautiful ring that I inherited from my mom, and it's like 2.5 carats, I don't know. But I had a dream that the diamonds fell out, so I took it off. Well, then I thought, I put it back on because my hand was getting bare. And then the night that I did that, I had another dream that the diamonds fell out. So I took it off in the morning, and I put it away, and I just keep forgetting to take it in and have the prongs and everything checked. So my hands were getting bare, and I don't know why I keep forgetting. Probably because I don't like jewelry anyway, but so I ordered a little $4 band so that, my finger isn't lonely. So I didn't lose it. It is in a safe place, and eventually I'll get it taken in. I had it checked probably, I want to say 8 years ago, but with that big ring banging on everything and whatever, it's a wonder the diamonds are still because I'm not that girly girl that likes all the jewelry and everything. I'm so weird with it. I just hit it on everything, even if I don't mean to. So anyway, blabbering on. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day. And I do mean that from my bottom of my heart. And all of you, I hope that the prayer helped, and that just chatting helps too. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let's build this channel. Let's build this community so we have more people that we can look out for. Be a blessing to anybody, even if it's just a smile. I love you guys. I'll see you at supper. And tonight's going to be really easy and yummy.